Hey, what's up everybody? I'm SuperSonicJB, and today I feel really old for some weird reason. I don't know, maybe I should check my calendar here to see what day it actually is. What, you thought I'd check my calendar on my actual phone? No, I'm way too old for that, so let's see what day it is. Ah shit, it's my birthday. Now normally, birthdays are a time for celebration, but for some others, it's another year closer to death. I mean, the other day I was digging my own grave to prepare for the inevitable, playing the Spyro and Crash crossover games on the Game Boy. Ah, the late 90s. What a time to be alive. I mean, I was born in late 97, but that didn't stop Sony from releasing the PlayStation console. The PlayStation 1 was Sony's first attempt into the video game market, and with them competing against other companies like Nintendo and Sega, they had their work cut out for them. And when they finally released the PlayStation 1, it was a massive success. The PS1 was the first gaming console to use a CD disc rather than cartridges, and with this new technology, they include more content on a CD compared to a cartridge. But Sony still needed some really awesome games available for the public. Enter Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon. These two were seen as the main mascots for the PlayStation back in the late 90s, and with them came along some of the best pairs of 3D platformers ever made. The original Crash and Spyro trilogies were huge successes that helped make 3D platformers one of the most popular video game genres out there. Unfortunately, over time, Spyro and Crash's popularity started to die down. After the trilogies, there were no longer Sony exclusives and started getting games on other consoles. And these follow-up games were pretty hit or miss for some fans. However, in 2004, the unexpected happened. Vicarious Visions announced a Crash and Spyro crossover, and this was huge. Seeing two of Sony's most popular characters getting a crossover felt like a must-happen. But then it was announced to be a Game Boy Advance game, and many fans lost all hope, especially after seeing the trailer.
Play as Spyro and let the mighty dragon battle Crash's enemy, the evil Dr. Cortex. Or play as Crash and unleash the Bandicoot on Spyro's nemesis, the devious Ripto. Two huge games. Spyro Orange, Crash Bandicoot Purple. Rated E for everyone.
Yeah, these games weren't very good. First of all, why is this game a Game Boy Advance game? It could have easily been a PlayStation 2 game, but nope, they decided to put this highly anticipated crossover on an inferior handheld. Plus, splitting them into two separate games definitely seemed like a cash grab. I mean, just look at Pokemon nowadays. Fans tore these games up when they released, calling them boring and unplayable. But I never actually got the chance to play these games until now. So I'm curious, were these games really that bad? Well, we're gonna find out today as I play through and review them. Also, I'm playing both these games on emulator because it's just easier that way. Plus, I no longer have a Game Boy Advance, unfortunately. Let's start things off with Spyro Orange, the Cortex Conspiracy, and go from there. Oh, yeah, this is an opening, alright. Why does the title look like a poorly cropped out Google image? This is Spyro Orange, ha, get it? It's called Orange because Crash is orange, get it? No? Okay. Let me be real here with you all. Spyro Orange the Cortex Conspiracy is not a good game by any means. Why, you may ask? Well, let's start the game off and find out for ourselves. So the game starts out with a nice little opening cutscene, Ripto and Cortex being best buddies and saying that they need to team up to beat Crash and Spyro. And that's it. No, seriously, that's it. Apparently Ripto and Cortex already know of each other and are working together. We never get to see them meet for the very first time. Heck, aren't they from different universes or something? I don't know. Why the heck did they just know each other like this? And why couldn't the devs come up with something more creative than just this? So the two evil best buddies open up a bunch of portals in both Spyro and Crash's worlds, and this is how each of the stories starts off. With Spyro Orange, the professor calls out for Spyro and tells him mysterious portals are opening out of nowhere. Oh, and Hunter is here too, but my god, does he look like he's seen way too much Rule 34 of himself on the internet. Anyway, Spyro and his dragonfly friend Spark set off on this epic journey to save the world. And as soon as the gameplay starts, everything goes downhill. Well, even more downhill than before, at least. Now, as I stated before, Spyro has had some Game Boy games before this, and they all played out really well. Heck, they even had his top-down 2D style gameplay that fit perfectly for the series. But in Spyro Orange, it all changes to a 2D side-scroller. Kinda like Zelda 1 to Zelda 2, but, you know, with Spyro. I mean, side-scrolling levels aren't too bad, but I kinda wish they stuck with a top-down view. It felt more fitting, you know? So in this game, your goal is to collect gems so you can open up portals to complete new levels. You can jump, run, head bash, and throw out a pathetic fireball that sometimes kills an enemy. Emphasis on sometimes. Yep, unfortunately you can't glide or perform a charge run, which is such a disappointment. Like, come on, the other Spyro Game Boy games can do this, so why does this one gotta suck? Plus, Spyro's movement is super slippery for some weird reason, so platforming in this game is the worst thing since Toad sucks. And once you get enough gems to open up the first portal, you get rewarded for what may be the worst part of the entire game. What the heck is this? Why is Spyro driving a Jeep? What, did he get some sponsorship with Chrysler or something? So yeah, in this game, the main levels you play through have Spyro driving a Jeep with a cannon on it. You need to jump from ledge to ledge and kill the enemies in your path. And yeah, no surprises, this entire sequence plays like crap. First of all, this entire gameplay sequence is an auto-scroller. A very slow auto-scroller. Platforming is dull and boring, and a cannon just doesn't work right. If you hold the button longer, it fires further away. If you tap it, it fires like 2 inches in front of you. Trying to hit enemies with this cannon feels more luck-based than skill-based. Sure, Spyro has had vehicle sections before in past games, but they were typically short and were actually fun to play. But this is just awful. My favorite part is seeing this screen after you beat a mission. Wow. Just wow. You did it! Oh gee, thanks game, I feel much better now. It almost makes you forget the torture I endured for the past 2 minutes. Alistair ran into Moneybags while playing the game, and he's here to sell me some cards? Unfortunately, he's all out of Pokemon cards, so I guess we'll have to settle for these lame cards instead. And no, these cards serve no purpose at all. You're just here because why not? I mean, this is definitely a wasted opportunity. These cards could have given you new abilities or unlocked new levels, but nope, they're just a pointless collectible. Also, they cost gems, and you use them to unlock portals, so it's literally pointless to waste gems on these things. Anyways, the next minigame has me drive a tank through a top-down 2D section and shoot things. And that's about it. Yep, this is another slow auto-scroller, so it'll take a while to get through. Now, the next minigame is without a doubt the stupidest one. Opening the gate. You just mash A till Spyro steers the wheel, and bam, you win! What a stupid game. And it doesn't get any better from here on out, believe me. The next minigame has us stand on top of a fort and shoot the enemy from across us and destroy the ground underneath them so they'll fall to their death and you'll win. And yeah, this is literally a type of minigame where you don't even have to move and yet you still win by just mashing B to shoot and then feel sorry for the guy who died from a dragon who barely did anything. And then the next minigame is just a copy and paste of the tank game from earlier, but Spyro is actually gliding now. Why couldn't we do this in the actual gameplay? And yeah, this is also a slow auto-scroller that's so boring, I think I'd rather watch grass grow than do this. Then we played a game of Breakout, and of course it sucked just as much as anything else in this crappy game. And eventually, we came across Crash Bandicoot himself. You know, because it's supposed to be a crossover, yet at this point in the game, I completely forgot what this game was even about. And instead of Spyro and Crash working together and talking things out about what's happening, they decided to fight by making me play another copy and paste minigame that we played earlier. Like, what the hell is with this game? At least Spyro looks happy still. And yeah, right after that thrilling battle, Spyro and Crash decided to team up to stop Ripto and Cortex, because they automatically figured out the two of them were working together, and now Spyro and Crash are best buddies. Even though I definitely killed Crash a few seconds ago. And then we move on to the next world. Yep, you heard me. That was only the first world in this game. And believe it or not, each world only gets worse and worse. Which I honestly thought wasn't impossible, but gosh darn, this game is just full of surprises. We do get to see Coco Bandicoot, which I guess is alright, but she serves no real purpose here other than exposition, so who cares I guess. Next game I play has Spyro walking this long-legged robot thing, and wow, was it stupid. You press the button to switch to gravity, so you'll walk on the ceiling or floor, and you pick up some missiles along the way that can be fired at enemies. But the thing that really sucks is the fact that you can only hold one missile at a time, which is just stupid as can be. And after this minigame, I keep playing through the game, and yeah, every single minigame from here on out is just copy and paste. Like, these minigames are literally the same thing I've been playing already, and they're not even that good or fun, so why torture the player like this? Here's the thing though, even with all these slow minigames and padding that the game has going for it, it's still a very short game to play, but at most you'll probably be playing this game for like an hour or so. As for the rest of the boss battles in this game, they're either super boring or just another copy and paste battle. There's also some gambling minigames you can play in Moneybag's shop, but they're so lifeless and boring that I didn't really give a crap. That's just the thing about this game though. It's so boring and lifeless. You got the opportunity to make a crossover that fans dreamed about for years, and this is what you make? And I bet you're wondering what the final boss is like in this game, and you're never gonna believe this, but it's just that stupid play minigame again. And you beat Rito and Cortex in like 30 seconds with that stupid freaking music playing over and over again. And then the credits roll, and you start to question why the heck anyone would want to play this game. So yeah, that was Spyro Orange: The Cortex Conspiracy, and it sucked. Like really badly. But that's only one of the games I wanted to talk about today. Now we still have one more to go here, which is a Crash Bandicoot version called Crash Purple Rito's Rampage. I'm playing this on emulator, remember? Well, at least the title screen looks and sounds cooler. So this game starts off very similarly to Spyro Orange, with Rito and Cortex teaming up to defeat their greatest enemies. The only real difference with this opening is the fact that the two baddies put Spyro masks on their minions, so Crash will get confused and will want to attack Spyro if they run into each other. Yeah, this story's still bad. I mean, look at these masks, clearly that's the real Spyro. Anyways, Crash and his friends figure out something is wrong after seeing all these random portals open up, so Crash sets off on another epic journey to save the world. Is what I want to say anyways. So this game is very similar to Spyro Orange in a lot of ways. You travel to different worlds, collect fruit, open portals, and complete some minigames, so you can proceed with the game's story. Yeah, it's not very fun, but I can at least say this game is definitely way better than Spyro Orange. The game actually feels like a Crash Bandicoot game, with you breaking crates, riding polar bears, and collecting crystals. Meanwhile, Spyro is driving a tank, which I definitely don't remember that happening before. But even though this game's better than Spyro Orange, it's still not a very good game. First off, the platforming controls suck. Just like Spyro Orange, Crash is very slippery to control. But he does have an advantage having a second jump available, if only Spyro had this feature. So some of the minigames include polar bear riding, Crash taking a bazooka, and killing innocent sheep. Geez, Crash, that's a little much, don't you think? And of course, this game also has its fair share of mashing A minigames. And just like Spyro Orange, this game also has a tank simulator. But this one's definitely way better because you can actually move around freely on your own. Still sucks, but hey, at least these minigames don't end with... And yeah, the boss battles are also super boring too. Like you battle Spyro this time around, and it's literally the exact same thing from the Spyro game. So now Crash is the murderer. And yeah, these minigames are just copy and pasted throughout every world. Like seriously, did anyone working on these two games put any actual thought and effort into these? I mean, just look at this game. It's literally just Jetpack Joyride, but with Crash. I mean, at least you have the special stages where you need to break all the crates back. But these are way too long to play through, and if you mess up even once, you gotta start from scratch. And yeah, this game's actually a little shorter than Spyro Orange, so you'll complete this game real quick, if you have the mentality to actually fully play through this crap. And yes, before you even ask, the final boss is literally the exact same thing as before, but you're playing as Crash this time around. And yeah, the ending cutscenes are terrible. And finally, the credits roll. So those are my thoughts on Spyro Orange and Crash Purple. And after playing through these games, I definitely agree with the internet here and say these games are bad. In fact, I go as far as to say these are some of the worst crossover games in gaming history. The plot in both games was awful, the gameplay focused too much on bad minigames, and the music is annoying as can be. These games were just such a disappointment in every way that I wish they never even existed. So that was Spyro Orange and Crash Purple, and yeah, both those games sucked. Big time. And it's such a disappointment too. You got two iconic video game characters who were able to actually cross over back in the day, and this is what you get? I'll definitely say this is a weird way to celebrate my birthday. I still feel really old right now though, so I think the best bet for now is to start looking out for retirement homes and see what they're like and everything. Who knows, it might have bingo. Oh crap, I just realized I'm late for my own funeral!